Welcome back, gamers. I'm Danny from Nintendo K channel. As you may not be aware, the second anniversary for Nintendo Switch is upon us. That is March 3rd. It's crazy that 2 years has passed since the original launch back 2 years ago with Nintendo Switch, and a lot of the games has came out since then. But I thought it'd be fun to look into my collection. I had to gather up a pretty decent collection, so look forward to upcoming episodes covering my entire collection. But this one here is covering games that are physical. If you guys know, look at my collection, or you never knew about my collection, I like to collect physical. So I'm a big collector for over 8 years now. I gathered from NES all the way to Nintendo Switch. So one of the biggest things for me to do is getting games for Nintendo Switch that I can put on my shelf and show it to people who come to my game room, or even on live streams to why these games are so awesome. I can show the cover art, the game card, and maybe some inserts that they do contain it. Some games don't have it, of course, because modern day Nintendo Switch games, a lot of manufacturers take them out. But nonetheless, you can do anything with a physical game. You can, even if you enjoy playing with it, you can share with your friend, or if you want, you can even sell it off to someone and put the money into the next game that you can play. That's the great thing about physical, but you can't do that with digital. Alright, so these are the games I'm going to show you guys that are only available primarily in Japan, that is physical, because a lot of the games that I'm going to be showing you was only available in the United States or North American market on Nintendo eShop. Being on the eShop is cool, it's very convenient, but at the same time, you have a lot of limiting factor being digital, because you can't share. If I was to want to share with Evelyn to play, I literally have to give her my Switch, and that takes game time away from me. So that's a little of a trade-off. The first game I want to show you guys, it is I Am Setsuna. Now this is one of the earlier releases for Nintendo Switch. It's actually made by Square Enix, the Tokyo RPG Factory. It's a really neat RPG that I saw a bit of gameplay into it. It's very simplistic. It reminds me of old traditional JRPGs of the Super Nintendo era. It has a very melancholy kind of feeling to it, snowy atmosphere. If you guys don't know, I do love games that have that kind of scenery and background. Look at the cover, it looks fantastic. It's nothing too crazy, but I thought I would dive into it. And this is only available, again, only at the Nintendo eShop if you live in the North American market. But if you import it, great thing about all these games I'm going to mention, you can actually pop it into Nintendo Switch and it'll be all in English. And there is no region locking for Nintendo Switch. That's the beauty of this system. And this is all import friendly, to be honest. So I Am Setsuna is definitely, if you're into an RPG, very simple, and it's all in English. The next game is something that I didn't get to play back in the PS1 era. And if you guys don't know what I'm referring to, it's like sort of like a Resident Evil with the samurai, if you kind of get that drift. That is Onimusha Warlords. Now this game, I remember it was only not too long ago that it was announced by Nintendo, that in a trailer that I saw, like, ooh, this is pretty cool. And I thought, like, give it a shot. There's a lot of, a bit of a following, I should say. A while back when I was, I guess during the GameCube era, and my friends were playing Onimusha. I'm like, what is that about? Obviously they tell me it's like Resident Evil with monsters and zombies. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot. This is pretty neat, and this is the original. They kind of did an HD remaster to it. Nothing too crazy. It kept the fundamentals of the game. If you guys have played Resident Evil on a competing platform before in the old days, you guys know there's a lot of pre-rendered backgrounds. The monsters, stay stationary. They move around, but in a set camera setting. So you guys, you have to deal. You have to work with that. But it does what it does well during that era, and I wanted to give a taste of that. So Onimusha Warlords, definitely up my alley. And again, this is import friendly. The next game, it's a lot of fun. I played with Evelyn on live stream. We got a little bit of action going on with the drum. There is an accessory for it. If you guys don't know, this is from HORI. That is the Taiko no Tatsujin for Nintendo Switch. If you guys don't know, it's actually named as Taiko no Tatsujin Drum and Fun in the West. It's the same game. You pop this game in. Everything is in English, of course, but the only thing is, of course, the music is exactly where if you were playing the Japanese version. So. But when you're playing a rhythm-based game, this is a rhythm-based game. It's all about the music. It's all about the rhythm that you get into the action. and you get a lot of fun out of it. You gotta get those high scores, get the perfect rounds. If you watch a lot of videos on YouTube, these people are amazing at this game. So I thought, give it a shot. I had a blast playing Evelyn as well. A lot of familiar anime songs or even video game music that's in there. I like Splatoon 2, Kirby, it's all in here, so it's pretty neat. And they have DLC for it that increases the music library as we go on. So this is a high recommendation for me, especially if you get the HORI Drum Taiko drum accessory. It makes it even worthwhile. It's a lot of fun. A great import. The next game is not from Japan, but it is from Asia. I was able to import this one. If you guys don't know, I'm a big fan of shooters or shoot 'em up. With that, like this one includes 4 in here. It's a Psikyo Collection Volume 1. There is a Volume 2, by the way, which I'm hoping to get very soon, but this is the first one. There's 4 games in here, and looking back at it, I love going to the arcades playing shoot 'em ups. Meaning like it's like a playing shooter. If you play like Gradius 3 on the Super Nintendo, you guys can't get that drift from me, but these are arcade games that are available on for Nintendo Switch, and the only way to play is either through Nintendo eShop or this is the physical version of Psikyo. So this one does have Strikers 1945, Gunbird, Samurai Aces, and Soul Divide. A lot of great shooters of the past days. Perfect arcade conversions made for Nintendo Switch to play at home, or you could play on the go. Either way you like it, that's the beauty of the Nintendo Switch. The next one, this one is very unusual for me because when I was thinking of getting it, I was like, oh, that reminds me, because I never really grew up on this franchise. If you guys know about River City Ransom, you kind of get an idea, and this cover tells you the character itself. This is a Kunio-kun, the World Classic Collection. You're like, what in the world is that? If you guys recognize the character on the cover itself, is from River City Ransom. This has an amazing library of games included in the bundle. It's 18 games. If you guys don't know, there are some classes. I want to just read it from you straight up. It's Renegade, Super Dodgeball, River City Ransom, Crash and the Boys, Street Challenge, Double Dragon 1, Double Dragon 2, and Double Dragon 3. Those are familiar games that a lot of us grew up. I grew up with Double Dragon especially. Fantastic beat 'em up games that I play with my friends, and we put a lot of hours into it. It's just a great game to just relax, chill with your friends, chill with your buddies, grab a drink and have some fun. It's just simple as that. Nothing too deep, but that's a lot of fun. And this is 18 games in total. There are a lot of ones that I never played before. I do know that Kunio-kun has a wide range of games that are in this game, this game card, I should say, dealing with different sports like dodgeball. There's soccer, there's hockey. There's tons of them that I'm definitely gonna check it out. Really looking forward to this one. There's a lot of fun from looking at the trailer. So I do highly recommend if you're into classic Famicom or NES beat 'em up games, or if you're into River City Ransom, you want a physical copy of the game, this is a high recommendation. The next one, in the same kind of vein, this one is from Capcom. This is called the Belt Action Collection. So this is also known on the West. For us here is the Capcom beat 'em up bundle. Nintendo did put up a trailer on this that it has a pretty neat compilation of games. It's 7 in total. I'm going to go through it pretty quickly. One of them is Final Fight, Captain Commando, the King of Dragons, the Warriors of Fate, Knights of the Round, Armored Warriors, and Battle Circuit. All of them in this compilation in physical form. You can get this bundle in Nintendo eShop, of course, and this reminds me of some of the games I played, especially Final Fight in the arcades back in the day, going to a local pizzeria, and I do remember encountering a Final Fight arcade there. It's really neat, and this is definitely one of those games that I'll be using my arcade fight stick. If you guys don't know, a lot of the games I mentioned earlier, I do own a HORI fight stick. It's one of my pieces that it's pretty large, but it gives you a nice feel like at the arcades with tons of buttons, and the joystick really gives that clicking feel that just mimic the arcade feeling at home. So I'm definitely gonna dig this game with using the arcade fight stick. So this is another recommendation for me. If you're a big arcade fanatic like I am, high recommendation. The next one, or I should say next two, if you're a big Mega Man fan, this collection did come to the West for us, but there's a little difference here. Is this one is the Rockman X Anniversary Collection. So I have here is two of them here. This is the Anniversary Collection 1 and 2. And on our side of the world, we have this in one set. It's called the Mega Man X Legacy Collection. And with that, they actually, what Capcom did was pretty interesting. Is they kept one game, or one card, I should say, in the pack. The first Mega Man X is in a physical card, but the second one you had to download from Nintendo eShop, so it's not full digital. And in Japan, they made an interesting release, which is they separate the two games, but they're both in physical form. So this is the only way you can get both Mega Man X games without downloading the second game through Nintendo eShop, which is only half physical. And that that is the only way to do it, is by importing. I literally put this in the game in my Nintendo Switch, the game Nintendo Switch. Everything's in English, so it's very import friendly. The cool thing about this version is you press the Y on your controller, regardless of what controller you use. You can actually cycle through different regions of the game, like US or Japan. They even have maybe a UK version. Going through the actual cutscene from Mega Man X changes with that. So obviously, if you play the Japanese version, you see the full vocals and original that the directors intended for the Japanese market. The only caveat is if you play the menu navigating through the game is in English, but if you pick the Japanese game versions of Rockman X, just to say, it will stay. The game still stay in Japanese, but as Mega Man games, you don't really need to read the text to play the game, but you can always revert back to the US version and play that if you really want to know what's going on with the with the English text there. So this is a really big recommendation for me. If you're a big Mega Man fan, it's a fantastic collection. It literally has 4 each. So this is Mega Man X through X2, X3, X4, and the second one goes X5, X6, X7, and X8, all in these 2 compilation cards here. So just to mention, I actually got this in the mail today. I'm really excited. This is the Darius Cosmic Collection Special Edition for Nintendo Switch. It's a really big, obviously a big case. It does include 9 awesome Darius games. You're wondering what that is about? It's actually a really cool shoot 'em up series. I played in the arcades back in the day, and this will be really amazing to play the arcade fight stick that I mentioned earlier. This is crazy because this is a well-known franchise, and this is one that was so hard to get. It was a very limited. It's just sold out, but they do have a standard edition. I do recommend you guys still to get. It is still import. You can play these games from Nintendo eShop. Again, this is the way to get a physical. They have these extra goodies in there. You can see from the package itself, it's really large. This is the back side. Just give you guys a good look at that. So they also include this really neat soundtrack. It's Darius Cosmic Collection that's included right there. So this is a very big piece that I'll be adding to collection and try out and reliving these games in the modern day. The final one is one of my favorite games of all time. This is Okami on the Nintendo Switch. This is a really beautiful game that was on many platforms. I played it on Nintendo Wii, and I remember the beautiful artwork that was presented all throughout the game. The gameplay is very reminiscent of The Legend of Zelda, and the person who were involved developing it, I remember reading an article interview, and he said he was inspired by The Legend of Zelda. So I guess see why he got that inspiration from when he created this game. But if you never played this game, you're like wondering what's about. It's a Zelda-based type of gameplay, and it's based on Japanese myth, lore, mythology. And the setting is such beautiful. If you ever been to like in Japan and you've seen like in the springtime, you get the feel of that nature feel to it. I don't know what to describe, but it's really gorgeous. You just probably see from the screenshot and the video that I'm showing right there that this is a very big recommendation for me. It is Okami for the Nintendo Switch. So that's all the games that I recommend you guys importing if you're into collecting physical, which I highly do encourage. There's a lot of pros with doing that. I know that the future may be digital and whatnot, but I will stick to physical as long as I can. That even means through importing. 2 years for Nintendo Switch got me a lot of games. This is just a small sample of my entire collection, so look forward to an episode where I could cover the entire my entire Nintendo Switch collection for 2 years. It's pretty expansive. It's over 100 games. That's so you gotta look forward to it. I'll leave a link down in the description or in a card above my head, if anything, for you to check it out. So if you enjoyed this episode, you find it helpful, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to Nintendo K for more videos like this. I'm Danny at Nintendo K Channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode.